All right, really cool question that we're going to be going over today. If you're an angelfish lover, you really have to pay attention to this one. It is a comment that was left on one of my videos from Tyson P, and it's basically about, can you put new smaller angelfish in your existing aquarium? And if you can, how? I'm on my way to the Veterans Hospital, the clinic for my eyes, because I need to get my eyes checked, and they're supposed to be putting the drops. I'm gonna be wearing a big old donkey sunglasses. So I'm getting a ride. I'm gonna ride with my homeboy right here. What's up? AQUARIUM in the house. Show him the big Black Panther. The Black Panther pic. I love that. I haven't seen. Look at that. All right, so here's a question from Tyson P. Hey man, I recently got my first angelfish and I'm loving your videos. Well, look, I appreciate that you appreciate the videos. I've got a question. I've got a 36-gallon bow front aquarium. It's 30 inches wide, 13 thick, but I think he means from front to back, and 21 inches tall. I've got 1/4 size angelfish with about 10 black skirt tetras. Should I risk getting a second angelfish or leave him alone in there, or just wait till he's older? Can you introduce a full-grown male to a full-grown female, or do they have to be separated from the group naturally? I'm worried about not having a big enough tank to deal with two angelfish who end up liking each other, especially if I end up getting a couple of the wharf gouramis or other community fish. This is actually, I don't think it's ever been addressed on YouTube, and that's what we're gonna do now. I think it's a great question. Nobody ever talks about angelfish, you know, how them being cichlids, you know, how do you introduce other fish if your angelfish are territorial? So that's what we're gonna go over, but I think I'm gonna do it when I get out of this clinic so I don't have this mask on. I got my eyes dilated. Can y'all see that? Can y'all see some dilation going on? I'm not on that stuff or nothing. It's all legit. This is my man AQUARIUM here. He also an angelfish keeper. He don't have any right now, right? Yeah, he got them centrals. He got them centrals. But he is an experienced angelfish keeper. And the video that he's talking about is a video that I did concerning how many angelfish can you keep. For some reason, when it comes to this basic question, how many angelfish can I put in my aquarium, it's not an easy answer. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and give you my opinion on how many angelfish can fit in your 10, 20, 30, 40, 55 and up. I was talking about, you know, how when you have multiple angelfish, you run into breeding and aggression and stuff like that. And the cool thing about his question is he's asking, okay, I have angelfish now, what if I want to get some later? They are cichlids, so they do have that cichlid aggression issues at times. And in my particular experience, and it's probably going to be different from person to person, is when you're putting angelfish together, normally you don't have an issue. You ever had an issue adding angelfish to?
There's always a dominant one that wants to say, this is my house, I gotta check you out before you take residence, but I've never had like deep aggression or beaten anybody up like that.
And I've came into a situation before where I did have a large dominant. Now the problem lies in when I added another large angelfish. In my experience, when you add different sizes, they don't really mess with each other. Like if you were to have a big angelfish and you put it in a tank and you put smaller angelfish in after the fact, it doesn't really seem to be an issue, because the smaller ones aren't fighting for dominance and they're not ready to breed. Now I have had issues where you had a male being introduced to an aquarium where you already had a breeding pair. Yes, now you have an issue. In the case of the 36 bow front is not really a huge aquarium. That bow in the front takes away, it's not as big as a regular 36. So I would say it's a little bit smaller. Right now you have one angelfish in. Now's the time to add angelfish. But like in that video, eventually down the road you're gonna have breeding going on. But I don't see a problem with adding different size angelfish. Ow, my eyes really hurt. So like, I need my glasses. I need sunglasses. In fact, that's what I'm doing right here. I'm waiting to get some, my glasses, or they're gonna be sent to me.
Yeah.
I think there was another part of that question. He was thinking about adding gouramis later on. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, okay, so yeah, there was. I forgot. I'm too busy trying to see myself in this camera. So, the gouramis. The gouramis, not gonna be an issue. Angels don't really mess with other fish. Like in that video that I was referring to, I'm gonna put a link to that video. Angels really only mess with other angels. You know, they're not really like betas where they see another fish that has long fins and they go, I'm gonna get you because I think you want to meet. Nah, they really only mess with other angels. So I don't really foresee an issue with gouramis at all. Now, when they start breeding, all your fish are fair game. But gouramis, nah, you're good. I would say to anybody watching this in the future, the more tank space you have, the more option you have to add fish, okay? But if you're gonna add fish, if you're gonna add a bigger angelfish, it's best to add them with existing small angelfish. If you have bigger angelfish, it's best to add smaller angelfish. If you have a small tank like you're talking about. If you had a big tank, it really wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter, in my opinion. Right. So, go ahead, get yourself about, let me see, a 36. I'm gonna say get yourself about three more small angels and see what happens in the future, you know. But just be prepared that when they get older, in about 6 months from now, when they're ready to breed, that you might have to, you know, remove some, depending on you know, if you want to keep the breeders or not. So if you have any other questions concerning any other fish, especially angelfish, leave it in the comments. I'll do a video about it, especially if it's a good question, off the wall question, one of them questions that even if it's a stupid question, I especially love to do a video on a stupid question. Like
I got one. What? When I used to work at a fish store, I used to get, can I put my angelfish with Nemo?
Can you put your angelfish with the saltwater fish?
Right, angelfish are in salt water, right? You
Yeah,
can take the
yeah.
angelfish from,
And here's my answer.
and then,
Sure. Put your freshwater angel. Put a saltwater. No, don't do that. No. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found some value in it. I hope it helped somebody out. I'm gonna put some other videos right here that you might find interesting. And if you have anything you would like for me to make a video on, leave it in the comments. Don't forget to hit subscribe and the notification bell so you can catch me on the next one.